If a person's making multiple six figures in corporate, why the hell would they want to start a company? They already have stability.
Remember, we don't play for the front of our jersey, we play for the back, right?
That's good.
Because if you fix your credit score, literally to gain access to $100,000, how would that change your life?
Fact.
The average salary in America is what?
48.
So you trying to tell me I doubled the average salary in America?
If a person's making multiple six figures in corporate, why the hell would they want to start a company? They already have stability.
I would say this, right? If you somebody that's working a 9 to 5 and you're looking for more, remember, we don't play for the front of our jersey, we play for the back, right?
That's good.
Because we can't give our kids that company.
Facts.
But one thing we could give them is a company that's in our name that we run.
What has the biggest transition been going from corporate America to now entrepreneurship is all on you?
I think the biggest thing is politics, right? I think when you're in a corporate office, it's he say, she say, and sometimes your race play a factor, sometimes the way you look play a factor, right? Wow. But in the entrepreneurial role, everybody has their own avatar.
Fire.
So by you having your avatar, somebody's naturally going to gravitate to you because of who you are.
So do you feel like a lot of the skills are transferable though, from corporate to kind of how you
Absolutely. I think that's where I found my success, right? I implemented my corporate structure into my day-to-day.
What are some of those structures so people out there know?
One thing people don't know is obviously when you're in sales, you prospect in the morning. So every day I had a strict time schedule from 9 to 11 where I cold called. I touch bases with clients, right? After 12, I touch bases with my existing clients. Well, it's the same structure, right? So what I do is I submit offers throughout the morning, right? I'm touching bases from 9 to 11. I'm submitting offers from 12 to 1. I'm pretty much touching bases with all existing customers, seeing what they need, how we can help them grow. And we're not only a company who basically just help clients get funded, we provide post support.
It's not that jobs are bad. Jobs are leverage, right? They allow you to build up. They allow you to have some sort of income to bet on yourself. That's one thing. And then two, I understand that jobs have transferable skills. At what point did you say, now I'm ready to leave my job and go on? Because you have a family and a lot of big responsibilities, right? So talk about that time where you said, no, this is the point that I feel like I'm ready to leave.
Yeah, so the biggest defining moment was I moved to Massachusetts. I'm originally from New York City. So I became like a senior manager for the whole Massachusetts, but I went to get a haircut from a random guy. You know, I'm new to Massachusetts. I'm like, let me try this guy out. And he asked me, he was like, what do you like to do? And I couldn't answer it because that's all I did was work. So that was that defining moment when I was like, hey man, my kids are getting older. I have a 1-year-old, I have a 9-year-old, and I see my woman, like I'm giving more to work than her.
Fire.
And this is the woman like who basically, like she been with me from when I worked in the restaurants.
Hard, that's dope.
So she was with me when I was making $40,000 a year all the way up to $200K a year.
Damn.
So I felt like, you know, I listened to Jim Rome. He's like, work on yourself more than you work at work.
That's good. That's so
for
good.
me, that was extremely big because I was giving more to work than myself, in which it led to multiple things, right? I felt like depression. It came, you know, I gained weight because I was so focused on a job. I was putting a job first.
Yep.
But let me tell you, with these big corporate companies, you just a number. Like, if you pass away tomorrow,
replace your ass
guess what?
today.
They're going to replace you.
That's a fact.
They're going to replace you. You're just a number to these corporate companies.
Now you a wizard. You out here 6 figures in 10 weeks. 6 figures in 10 weeks. Brand new business. Helping people get access to capital, right? Talk to people a little bit about that. What is it to run a funding company? What do you do? How do you help people? And what makes you different?
So I like to look at myself as a relationship coach, right? I help the client build a better relationship with the banks, right? So I always tell my clients, hey, when you go to a bank, let's deposit some money.
That's good. So if I come to you, do I pay you up front? Do I pay you after you give me the money? What does that process look like?
So we basically take a success fee after we get the client funded.
Okay. What's it? 5%?
10%.
10%. So if you give me 100, so if you give me 100,000, I gotta give you 10,000.
Yes, sir.
What if I feel like that's a little high? I don't know. That's a lot of bread.
To be honest, how long would it take you to save $100,000? So it would take you probably a couple years to save 100,000, but you're able to come to me and I can get you 100,000 within 60 days.